Welcome to today's webinar with the title Würth Elektronik Asia Production, your access to technology, volume and cost efficiency from Asia. I am Andreas Schilp, your host of today's Würth Elektronik Circuit Board Technology webinar, and I would like to welcome you. The speakers in today's webinar are Manuel Meyerhofer and Alexander Gotz, Technical and Commercial Head of Würth Elektronik Asia Production. Welcome, Manuel and Alex. And I wish you lots of fun and new information.
Thank you very much, Andreas, and also welcome to the webinar regarding Asia Production. My name is Alex. I'm working since around about 15 years for the Würth Group and the last 8 years, 7.5 years for Würth Elektronik, the PCB division. And as the members of directors of the group, we are responsible for the Asia Production, how we call the trading business. But it's not only trading, we will tell you a little bit more about the business model later in this presentation.
Good morning, my name is Manuel Meyerhofer. In my 8 years in the company, I'm responsible for the technical side in Asia, means all about quality, all about engineering and the whole technical sourcing on site in China or Southeast Asia.
So first we start into the presentation with some facts and figures regarding Würth Elektronik Asia Production. This department was founded in 2013, so it means a little bit older than 10 years now. The first intention was to do high volume PCBs, which are absolutely price sensitive and therefore, because of the volume, not suitable for the German or European fabs. So after the changes of the technologies and the development in the German fabs regarding rigid flex PCB, QTA business, sampling and so on, we decided to open up for every other technology as well. Just to mention HDI business, also low volume, mid volume, so everything is now possible nowadays through Würth Elektronik Asia Production, and the German fabs still stay valid or officially for the rigid flex business and QTA. So coming to the Asia Production, how we call our trading department, it's a production site or several production sites in Asia. We have some production partners. We built these up since years, so these are very strong relationships. And the headquarters of Würth Elektronik Asia Production is in Germany, next to our big fab, Niedernhall, rigid flex fab. And the headquarters of Asia is directly in Shenzhen, so the center or in the heart of the PCB industry in China. Overall, our team has 85 employees, has 85 members. Why do we need so many people? It's not just trading, like we said before. We are taking care for the quality, even in the fabs with resident engineers. We are taking care for the engineering department. Already when you send out your first idea of a PCB, we can support with a big engineering team in Germany, but also in other countries. We have the quality inspections, like we said, in the fabs. We have the logistic in our own hands. We have the pricing team, pricing engineers, everything else around it. So you can easily imagine it's necessary to have 85 experts worldwide to handle more than 1,000 customers in more than 60 countries. The order volume this year will easily reach more than 100 million USD already. And the service level is absolutely stable with around about 96.5 this year, also last year. And the quality level is 99.5%. Means only 0.5% of all the deliveries of all the PCBs are with some quality topics. And therefore, we also have our strong team in place under the lead of Manuel directly. In total, we are having 13 partners in Asia with more than 20 fabs. And the special thing is, we would like to mention as well, besides all our services in engineering, quality, logistics, we have our own warehouse in Germany, which is absolutely interesting for the European customers or US customers. This means we can store PCB for you within 24, 48 hours, depends where you are located. We can ship the PCB to you. Besides the own warehouse, we have 2 labs. And regarding the labs, I would like to overhand to Manuel.
Yeah. Our lab, especially in China, in Shenzhen, Longgang, you can see that in the background of this slide, is an accredited laboratory according to the highest standard. We have the IATF 16949 certification. It's a spacing of around 5,000 square meters. We're doing 1,300 incoming quality inspections per month. And we have reliability testing like salt spray. We have our own reflow machine. We have temperature change chambers and so on and so on. So what we do is we call it the most modern laboratory in southern China, which is very unique in the field of PCB. Additionally, we have a small lab in Germany, so in any case, we can always assist you with any support in China as well as in Germany.
So for today, we define 4 main topics. Topic number 1 is production costs. There are some developments of raw material availability, but also pricing, commodity and labor. We have some logistic topics. Also, we switch to number 3, capacity and lead time. What does it mean for you is the recommendation in number 4, what to do and how to react on the current circumstances and on the future circumstances. First of all, the production costs increased. This is most probably not news for you, but we would like to explain it a little bit more detailed with the following slides now. So the laminate price dropped only a little bit in 24 because there was just not too many orders available. But now it increased again, the demand increased, also the costs increased, and laminate in total increased already in 25, 8%, and it's now said that we should expect an additional increase in the near future of 5 till 10%. Already first laminate manufacturers announced that their price increase will happen in the second half of this year. And what we see the first time now after COVID is that they, I would not say bundle their strategy, but it seems that the big players on the market are in a very close relationship or a discussion at least, and they try to increase the prices in the same day, nearly the same amount and so on. So it's like a cartel. So the lead time increased as well. The fabs in China are mostly heavy loaded. This means between 100 and 130%, and it's mostly caused by AI infrastructure products, and so the demand increased dramatically. This has an effect on the base material, on the laminate. We always recommend our customers to book early enough. This means you should add 5, 6, 7 weeks additionally to the normal lead time. Standard lead time of material was 0 till 2 weeks. Now it's +5, we say 7 up to 8 weeks, something like this, plus the production time, plus logistics. So please be aware of the situation. Additionally, the laminate vendors set up purchasing quotas to the PCB manufacturers. This means if you have a demand of 10,000 sheets as a production per month, you can maybe only receive 7,000, 8,000. This means you do not even have enough material to cover the monthly demand. So you have to postpone the orders into the next month and hope that the situation relaxes a little bit, but we do not see a relaxing situation at the moment. In the end, this means laminate is getting more expensive, the PCB is becoming more expensive. Production costs increased as well. So copper foil cost increased massively. If we only have a look on the first quarter of this year, you can see an increase of round about 15%. And there is no way at the moment, or not a sign inside, that there will be a massive drop again. So it will stay on a high level because there is just a big demand behind. And we even expect something like an all-time high, could be something around about 12,000 USD per 1,000 kilogram within this year. The costs of gold, silver and tin increased as well, more than 30% since 24, and only if we have a look on the 25 year, we see an increase of 17%. If you now keep in mind that you maybe received official quote from Würth Elektronik or from other companies in October, November last year, and you think the price is still valid, we have to disappoint you. It's not possible to keep these prices from some weeks or months ago, so please be aware of this as well. And before ordering, we highly recommend to ask your sales contact at WE to send you the newest quote with delivery time, available material, plus the newest price level. To not be disappointed, you need this transparency to have a good planning behind. In the end, this will lead to another increase of the PCB costs in total. So you saw some topics around the cost situation. The last one is the labor costs. They also increased, obviously only a little bit. It's like 4% in China, but this only is considering the minimum wages. If you are an expert, a qualified engineer in PCB business, you are absolutely high paid, and these salaries increased much more than 4%. And you can imagine that in the fabs, not the minimum wages have to be paid to get good workers. So this has a massive effect as well. Coming to the next topic, it's logistic. We see two ways at the moment, sea freight and air freight. Train is no longer an option. If you would like to come to Europe by train, you have to cross somewhere, somehow Russia or Ukrainian or whatever. It doesn't make sense. It's just not possible at the moment. So sea freight. Sea freight, there's still the Suez Canal topic. It's a hot topic and it will hold on maybe this year. So this means all these ships which formerly crossed the Suez Canal have to go around Africa, and this means longer shipping time, not enough free containers available, and more harbors on the way to load and unload the goods. So you just have longer lead time via sea freight. The costs did drop a little bit in 25. Formerly we're coming from 115, 120 USD per 1,000 kilogram sea freight. Now we are around about 85, 90, depends on which month we are looking, but this is quite stable. Air freight. At the moment, we are shipping 80% of all our PCB for the customers via airplane. The reason is, like said before, the delivery time is much longer. It extended massively. The material is not directly available. The fabs are fully loaded. And now we can see here and there some, like to say, traffic jam in the airports in Hong Kong, just to name an example. So this leads to a longer lead time. Of course, the customer need the PCB very urgent. Therefore, air freight is the topic, is the solution we can use. We have normal air freight. We have some express air freight. And in the very urgent cases, we can even do hand carry. This means one special expert which has the allowance to go into other countries with a visa as well. He is able to bring the PCB directly to you. But as you can imagine, everyone wants this solution as well at the moment, and it's absolutely a cost topic. So we highly recommend to place orders early enough and be aware of all the situations we mentioned before. Coming to the third topic, Manuel.
Let me talk a little bit about the capacity and the lead times again, the capacities in China, as well as giving you a small outlook for PCB production outside of China, which means especially Southeast Asia. Alex already mentioned that the major PCB manufacturers are completely loaded at the moment. What we can see is that our factories are loaded between 95 and 130, now even more %. Some of our manufacturers, they have currently production lead time of 100 to 150 days. In general, looking to our whole supply portfolio, we can say production lead times increase currently 20 to 40%. It's all driven, not all driven, but mainly driven by AI. DeepSeek in China, ChatGPT in the US and so on. If you use this application, you can see the waiting time in the queue. They are all investing right now in infrastructure in the US as well as in China. That means the loading of the PCB manufacturers in China is not driven by European industry, it's mainly driven by domestic industry as well as mainly the American big players right now. The effect is that special materials are 4 to 7 weeks longer in lead time, especially if we're coming to heavy copper, high CTI, high TG, etc. The material manufacturers currently, what are they producing? They're producing, of course, mainly the material which is used by those AI applications. That means also standard FR4 materials like half ons, 1 ons, 2 ons is additional 2 to 3 weeks at the moment. What we can do is, as Alex already mentioned, we can help you, we can support you. What we need is the order as soon as possible. What we can do in China as well in Germany is we keep your orders in our warehouse. You just send in the order and we ship it to you within 24 or 48 hours. Coming to another topic, looking at the geopolitical conflict around the world. Alex mentioned the war in Russia and Ukraine. We have the conflict between China and Taiwan, but also we have the trade war, especially between the US and China. The question comes up every time, what can we do? Are we too dependent from China? The solution could be sourcing outside of China. Europe itself has a shrinking PCB manufacturing market, while other areas in the world increasing the capacity right now. To point out especially is Thailand. They built up large capacities. The government pushed that. There's a little bit in Malaysia, there's a little bit in Vietnam as well, but Thailand turned out to be one of the bigger players. Not comparable to China, but at least there is something growing. At the moment it's around 45 to 50 manufacturing sites which are built. Around 30 are already online and operating. The big problem is the utilization right now. The loading is dramatically low. Most of those PCB manufacturers burn money, so to say. The loading is above 50%. Usually we say that the break-even point in China is around 50%. In Thailand, due to all the costs there, the break-even point might be a little bit higher, minimum 60%, so that's money burning at the moment. We have, since 2022, we have our first approved and audit manufacturing site in Thailand. We additionally approved last year and this year 2 more factories in Thailand and in Malaysia, and 2 of our main partners from China building their own factory right now, and it's supposed to be open in Q3 this year, while another one will open in 2026 in Vietnam. What is the advantage of Thailand? Of course, obviously, is production outside of China. What is a disadvantage is the cost situation. What we can see is that all the costs, even the wages and the labor costs, are lower than China. What we can see is the supply chain is not there, the aftermarket is not there. So this is included in the calculation, and therefore you can say that a PCB is about 15 to 25% higher if you order this PCB through a manufacturing site in Thailand, Malaysia or Vietnam. From technology point of view, we can do mainly standard multi-layer, but now we can also do up to 3 steps of HDIs in Thailand as well. Preparing, that's the key word for the next slides. How can you be prepared best? What can you do? And how can we help you? We know that due to the economy right now, it's quite difficult to have an accurate forecast. Anyway, what we do is we really recommend you to place the order as soon as possible, as early as possible.
Maybe also to add, if the customer does not know how much he needs in half a year, that's just standard. That's okay. We noticed the problem. We know a lot of customers through our visits, but we recommend to place at least a minimum amount of PCB. It's better to have 50% of your demand in your hands, better than having nothing.
It's true. So give us an order as soon as possible, as early as possible. Even you don't need it immediately in your warehouse. I mean, having PCBs in your warehouse means costs for you. Don't worry about that. We keep that PCBs for you in our warehouse, and you just send in the daily order and get the PCBs within 48 hours. We do that service free of charge. Another thing Alex mentioned is don't try to compare offers from maybe even 2023 or 24 with offers which we send you today. That's not possible. You need to have a look on the current situation. Price and delivery times changed a lot, so get your new quote. Ask the Würth Elektronik contact window to give you the newest quote to be on the safe side. What I mentioned already is we have more than 1,000 shelves available for you in our warehouse in Germany. We built up another one in China right now. Even you want to have it in China, maybe you also have a production or an EMS supporter somewhere in Asia. We can ship directly from our warehouse in China as well.
So I would also like to mention that we are of course placed in Germany, and we have a big team in Asia, completely Asia. We are also traveling a lot, and we have a big support from our sales organizations in a lot of countries. So we have a big team in France, in UK, in Scandinavia, in the Netherlands, in Poland, and so on and so on. So you can always discuss some detailed topics with your sales contact window in your mother language. You will have the full support of our German team. You will have the full support of our Asian team. And in case you are interested in getting much more details or getting like a workshop done together with us, we are also happy to visit you in your place or to invite your team to visit our home base in Janhal and give you an insight into one of the most modern fabs in Europe, plus getting to know our team of Asia Production personally. So this is what we would like to mention as well. And we are now in the Q&A session, so I would like to, or not yet?
Maybe one additional thing I would like to mention is about flexibility. Everyone wants to be flexible. So also talk to your technical team inside your company about, for example, flexibility of base materials. We have seen that the lead time of base materials increased rapidly. Nevertheless, we have different base materials in our own warehouses in China. So if you not necessarily need a specific material, please rely more on the IPC spreadsheets. Just mention what you want, and we are picking out the best, more cost efficient, and from lead time point of view, the fastest laminate for you. In many cases, the brand of the laminate does not really matter, but we only using high-class laminates. Increase your flexibility, you get the PCBs cheaper and you get them more fast.
This brings us to the end of the webinar. We thank you for your active participation, and a big thank to you, Manuel and Alex, for the detailed presentation and for answering the questions. So if you have any further questions in the course of time, please feel free to contact our speakers. The email addresses are shown here again. We wish you a nice day and a good time. Stay healthy and goodbye.